Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estella.
And welcome to
Cafecito.
And Crime. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We hope that everyone is having a wonderful day. How are you doing today, Cisterna?
I'm wonderful.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's good. Today has been a little bit.
You didn't even ask me why I'm wonderful. Thank you very much.
No, because la verdad, like.
What am I going to say? I don't say nothing.
You don't say nothing.
That's true.
Like
that's
you
true.
are not.
A closed book.
Yes. In and out. But me, a mí todo me pasa. So, yeah. I'm chilling, milling, thrilling. I just been working on a project all day for my son.
With your son?
No, for my son. Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to make it nice.
No.
Quería componerle ahí.
No way. No. Let's be honest. That's something that I'm very good about saying is like when I do something that I'm not supposed to do, I do it. Nah, pero es que most of it is like, cutting and like putting shit on a board and all that. And he's a boy.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be like.
That doesn't mean anything.
Let me tell you why I say
manos?
that. No, sí, güey.
¿Y si no tuviera mamá?
No, espérame. Let me finish what I was going to say.
Okay, a ver.
Ya ves, nunca dejas hablar, güey.
Ándale, yeah.
Yeah. No, lo que yo digo es que no lo va a acomodar como yo quiero.
Oh.
And it's going to look like.
Presentation, pues.
Yes,
that's
presentation vibes. And it's for his, it's one of his biggest grades of the year. It's for his gifted and talented showcase. So it needs to be at least presentable. 1 year I did Emma's. I did the whole, like that one I did the whole thing.
Oh, I remember. And then she wanted to keep it in her room, but you're like, you didn't do it.
No, she didn't do it. I want to keep it in my room.
Yeah.
It's my fucking project. I was out there fucking collecting rocks and shit or
dirt,
something.
right?
I don't know what the hell.
You ended up, because of whatever you were collecting, sticks. Because remember,
it was about mushrooms.
Yeah, something with the outside, because then in your garage, you ended up getting a whole bunch of ants.
Yeah.
Remember, we couldn't get rid of them?
It was ants, and then también it was like something had ate into the like bark
of the tree.
Te digo. So that is why, and what is going on right now with me is I'm working on that. And then it's my birthday week.
Whoop, whoop.
We were talking about that, Estella and I, and nothing cool or exciting because I'm off, pero to go to first.
But you're off, but you're not off from being a mother.
No, I have at 11 o'clock, I need to be at one school, and in the afternoon, I need to be at the other one.
For stuff.
So
that's why you don't put your kids in extracurricular. I'm just kidding. That's what
No, that's not why. The one from the morning, the extracurricular activity in the afternoon, sí. Extracurricular, sure. Pero
because then you have to do it again Saturday.
And then I have to do it again. No, I'm not going to go Saturday.
Oh, no, you're not.
I'm not going to go Saturday because her dad is going to be home.
So her dad can go.
Her dad, she wants him to go anyway, more than me.
Okay, yeah. She started looking at your face.
Honestly, I'm the only one that goes.
Yeah, like it's just the three of y'all sitting and looking at each other's faces. And then the pets ahí al lado agarrándose de la greña.
All day. But I did want to mention something that my daughter and I watched Edward Scissorhands. Mm-hmm. And
you were telling me about that.
I was telling you about this. So yeah. I remember watching it because I was born in 86. So I was about 4 when it came out. It was in
90,
1990.
right?
Yeah.
Or something like
Pero
that.
luego ya de grande, I watched it because I remember also watching Beetlejuice with my cousin. Pero like, I remember watching bits and pieces como cuando he's cutting the lady's hair. And I don't know why I remember, like, it making my stomach hurt. Like, I was disgusted by it.
Back then?
Oh. But then I rewatched it, and it wasn't that bad. And why did I thought Edward didn't know how to speak? But he did speak.
Sí, puta.
Yo no sé por qué me acordaba que no hablaba, güey.
Oh, a lo mejor tú le componiste
Yo le compuse, güey, honestly. Because I was like, wait, he talks? Like, I didn't think he did.
You thought he was mute?
Honestly, I did. I don't know why. I thought maybe nobody taught him how to speak because he was up there en la casa. And I'm like, el viejito no le enseñó a hablar.
Oh, I don't know. I think I was telling you también que I've only seen it in bits and pieces. I've never seen it in its entirety.
And so my daughter was like, and why did you tell me to watch this? This was sad. I'm like, first of all, you're the one that came down here talking about.
What, do you want to watch The Exorcist?
Yeah, like, what the fuck? So.
I'll put that shit on right now. No, just kidding.
That one's a good one, too. Pero, anyway, that's my life. Where are we going today?
For today's case, we are going to, it's Manheim Township, Pennsylvania.
Another township.
Yes.
In Pennsylvania.
See.
Is it because of the colonies? Like Pennsylvania colony? No?
Why did you put your hand up like if you're a cheerleader?
I don't know. But if you want to, let's just ignore that. And if you want to go ahead and come with us to Mayhem.
Where are we going?
Manheim?
Manheim. Township.
If you'd like to go with us, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started.
That was weird. Oh, well.
For the fun, random, interesting facts, it's a township, so we have to go historical.
No, it's not. It's not a township. You just made that up.
No, it's a...
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm like, it's a Manheim. No, it's this township. Like the high school, it's called... No, I was like, the high school in town is called Manheim Township High School. I'm like,
nah, you just made that up. No. And you're like, no, for real. It's like, she's like pointing at the computer, guys.
No, like I always feel like I'm like, damn, am I wrong? Like what I've been working on was not right. Like somebody will tell me or question me, and I'm like, damn, everything I did was wrong. And then I'm like, no, I just stopped.
I was like, no es cierto. And she was like pointing at the computer. No, it's like right.
I'm like, I did it. I looked at it. But anyway, again, it's a township, so we have to go historical. So Manheim Township was founded in 1762. You know?
I thought 1776 for some reason.
That was as Lancaster County's first township. It was laid out by Henry William Stegall on the land tract, though it was only incorporated until 1828. So Mr. Henry Stegall, sorry, sir, was a German immigrant. And so the township was named after the city of Mannheim, Germany.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's
from an immigrant.
Yeah. So it's a German name, Mannheim. The name translates to, quote, home of the man.
Wow.
So today, actually...
mind-blowing.
Today, Manheim Township is an affluent suburb of Lancaster City, Pennsylvania. So it has German roots. Pues lo que te quería decir, pues para no hacerte la historia larga.
Pero my question is, Pennsylvania...
The state.
Is not that big, right?
I mean, compared to Texas.
Yeah.
Sí, no, pues está chiquito. I mean, it's
normal.
For being on the East Coast, like it's, regular size.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody's ever been like, oh, I can't wait to go to Pennsylvania.
I want to go to Pennsylvania.
Me too, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know why. What do they have in Pennsylvania?
Have you not seen that movie?
Which one?
National Treasure.
That's not in Pennsylvania.
Yes, pendeja.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought
Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, okay. The Steelers. Okay, got it. The 76ers. The basketball team.
Oh, from Pennsylvania. I thought we were still on football.
No, I changed it up a little bit,
As you should. Pues nomás para aclararte. Que, it has German roots. And that nice. Mannheim. Que, a ver, pop quiz. Mannheim means
why? Why?
Mannheim means what in German? It translates to what?
The man that lives in a town.
Perfect. Man of the home, pero pues, potato. Enough of that. So today we will be talking about the Haines family murders, which took place on May 2007.
Okay.
Oh, going on 20 years.
I know. I was just thinking that.
Viene.
Si Dios quiere.
Because,
the way we're going.
Yeah, girl. So the Haines family consisted of parents Tom and Lisa and their two children, Margaret, or Maggie, como le decían.
I like the people that call their kids Maggie.
I do too.
I love that.
And then Kevin. So Thomas Allen Haines was born on June 4th of 1956 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So in his youth and until the day that he was murdered, he was an avid runner. In high school and later in college, he was a member of the cross country and track teams. And running would be something that he'd bond over with Maggie his daughter, as they, would train together for the Boston Marathon and other regional and local marathons that, both of them participated in. And then besides running, también Tom, he also loved to golf. So now his wife, Lisa Ann Brown Haines, she was born on December 7th of 1959, also in Lancaster, to parents Elmer Brown and Jane Tyndall. She was one of 3 children, and Lisa attended and graduated from Elizabethtown College in 1981 with her Bachelor of Science degree in early childhood education. And then Lisa was known as a quiet person who loved to read and enjoyed watching old movies. And then it was noted that she also had like a big love for animals. Now, Maggie was born first, I want to say late 1980s. And then Kevin, 4 years later, on June 15th of 1990, also. Like, they were all born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Like whenever Edward Scissorhands came out in 1990.
Oh, okay. See?
Cool.
It was exactly 1990, right?
It was in 1990, yeah.
Now, the Haines family was known as your typical suburban family. By 2007, Tom had worked at his place of employment, Motion Industries, for over 20 years as a brand manager, and had also been an industrial supply salesman. And Lisa worked as a preschool teacher in the church her family was a member of, the Otterbein United Methodist Church. Now, Maggie was in college, attending Bucknell University, which was 100 miles north of Lancaster. And she was described as someone who was extremely intelligent. She was very sweet. She was easy to get along with. And then Kevin was a sophomore at, estoy diciendo, Manheim Township High School.
So basically, the name of the high school is the home of a man, Township High School.
Yes.
Okay.
He was described as an extremely bright student who was a member of his school's quiz bowl competition team.
Quiz bowl.
Yeah, so it's like a high scholar debate, kind of like a debate team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he was also a writer for the student newspaper. And then outside of school, he was a Boy Scout and was working towards becoming an Eagle Scout.
That's awesome.
I know.
My nephew was a Boy Scout.
Really?
Yeah, he acted a fool.
Oh. Mm-hmm. He didn't make it to Eagle?
He didn't do nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
Did he learn how to pitch a tent?
He learned what I think it was a water moccasin. That's all that my sister remembers that he learned.
Oh. What's a water moccasin?
A snake.
Oh.
Yeah. And then after that, we were like, wow.
Yeah, acabó su career.
Yeah, he finished his career as a Boy Scout really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he tried.
He did make a car one time, though.
A car?
A car.
A race car? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Something.
His dad made him.
Okay.
Made it for him, so.
From what people knew of the Haines, they were described as a quiet family who kept to themselves and loved to spend time together. For Lisa, being a mom and spending time with her family was the most important. And as a family, their idea of a good time was cooking dinner and talking and watching a movie and reading together.
That is so sweet.
That is so sweet.
That is super sweet. Now, when you go to the kitchen or when you eat dinner, the kids try to be on their phones the whole time.
Not in your household.
Not in my household. Estela, she gets in trouble all the time. Put up your phone.
Yeah. And right now that we were eating at the table that you weren't here, and I was like, no phones at the table. And then they put their stuff away.
Yeah.
A huevo, pero pues. I'm going to tell your mom I'm going to record you and I'm going to show you mother.
Like, just wait.
Just wait. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I just don't think it's cool. Like, come on. Let's just at least enjoy your dinner. And then if you want to leave, then fine.
Para los 20 minutes que te pones a comer and stuff.
20 seconds most of the time. Because my son is like, inhales his food and leaves. Yeah. And then sometimes I think he does it también para irse más rápido, you know? So I'm like, if you want to choke, that's fine. But you're not going to have the phone in front of you.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that is so awesome. That is really sweet.
The Haines family, of course, lived in Manheim Township, a small, safe community where doors were usually left unlocked by its residents. But all of that would change after May 12th.
Everything changes. Oh, man. That was a while ago, whenever people would leave their doors unlocked.
Mm-hmm. On Friday, May 11th, 20-year-old Maggie came home from school for Mother's Day weekend. She planned to stay since her summer break had already started for her. Like, she had already taken finals in college.
Oh, cool.
So she was like, I'm going to stay. That night, after dinner, the family watched a movie. Lisa and Kevin went to bed while Tom and Maggie stayed up watching the rest of a baseball game. And then, ya que se acabó el juego, se fueron a dormir ellos también. Mm-hmm. So now, it being May 12th, after 2 a.m, an intruder broke into the Haines home, which was located on 85 Peach Lane.
Oh, they lived on Peach Lane?
Mm-hmm. Loud sounds in the home caused Maggie to wake up, and she walked into the hallway and straight to her parents' bedroom, where she found her mom, Lisa, barely sitting up on bed. Lisa told her daughter to go to the neighbor's house and ask for help. And so Maggie rushed down the stairs out the front door to the neighbors, where she told them to call 911, that her family needed help. So Officer Christopher Keenan and other officers were dispatched at 2:24 in the morning and arrived at the Haines home at about 2:36 in the morning. So just under 10 minutes later.
They didn't take long
like
at all.
a little bit over 10 minutes. They discovered a horrific scene. Tom and Lisa were discovered in their room deceased, and Kevin was also found lifeless in the hallway right outside his bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Right away, it was evident to the officers that Kevin had been stabbed and slashed multiple times. And the lead detective on the case was Detective Alan Lead. And after examining the bodies of the victims, they were able to conclude that Tom, who was 50, had been stabbed in the chest.
Wow.
Lisa, who was 47, had also multiple stab wounds in the abdomen. And then Kevin, who was 16, who out of the three was the one who suffered the most stab wounds. He had been stabbed in the face, arms, back, and it appeared that his throat had also been slashed.
Sounded like it was personal.
The autopsies, which were conducted on May 14th, were performed by forensic pathologist Dr. Wayne Ross, who confirmed that Tom died from wounds to the chest. His aorta had been pierced. Lisa's cause of death was a wound to the abdomen, and Kevin's was from stab wounds to the neck and chest. And he had about 15 cuts and 11 stab wounds.
Ouch.
Now, at the scene, as expected, there was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
On the floor, on the walls. It was
Especially
brutal.
if somebody's aorta was like
Pierced.
Yeah.
In Kevin's case, it was evident that he put up a fight. Like, he fought his killer hard.
Good.
In the house, CSI didn't find any fingerprints, which suggested that the killer had worn gloves.
Yeah.
However, they did find a trail of bloody footprints upstairs, which were between the bodies.
So like it went from
one room to the hallway.
next,
Yeah.
So it was the same person. It wasn't
Right.
like multiple.
Exactly. So like we just said right now, from the master bedroom to the hallway where Kevin was found. And based on the shoe impression, it let detectives know that, like you just said, it was a single person that walked through the home. So it was likely that it was only one killer, not multiple. Since the bloody shoe prints were heavier near Kevin's body and they dissipated as they proceeded down the stairs, it indicated that Kevin was killed last. It also let them know that after Kevin was killed, the intruder went back to the master bedroom. Mm-hmm. And we later learned that Lisa was still alive. So
that's why she told her daughter to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And when he returned to the bedroom, he finished Lisa off.
Damn. He was like, I'm going to kill these people. Like,
Yeah.
He made sure of that.
The footprints also led to the bathroom, still on the second floor. And then, of course, using luminol and a black light, traces of blood were found in the sink, which meant that the killer had washed their hands after the murders before making their escape. Since the family, unfortunately, like I just said, left their doors unlocked, the killer could have walked in at any time. Nothing seemed to be missing from the home, so it wasn't a burglary gone wrong. Someone went into the Haines home intending to kill the family.
Yeah, that's scary because, like, now that I think about it, like, before I go to bed, I lock the back door, I lock the garage door, I lock the door in the front, I put the chain, I lock the truck because people will go in your trucks
or
and
try to see if your doors are open or whatever.
Yeah, and so that happened to me one time. I was gonna go drop off the kids, and when I tried to open the door was like open. So they went in there and they just they're looking for guns. They're looking for guns or whatever. Valuables. And so like it's crazy that you do all of that locking before you go to bed. And then I lock all of that. And then on top of that, I'm like still looking downstairs. Okay, did I forget? Did I lock the top? And then I have 3. And then they just left it open like that. That's so crazy to me.
Since there was one member of the family who survived the attack, detectives were hopeful that Maggie would be able to provide information on who could have done this. However, when Lead spoke to Maggie, she told him that she got out of the house as fast as she could and she didn't see the killer. Later that day, as police continued to search the scene, porque ya había amanecido, they found something. Outside in the Haynes' backyard, they found a baseball cap, which had the brand logo covered with duct tape. Hoping that it belonged to the killer, it was sent out for testing. And traces of DNA were found, such as blood and hair. The DNA results were run against the National Criminal Database, but came up with no hits. While there hadn't been any hits now, it didn't mean that there wouldn't be any in the future, so the evidence was shelved for future use.
Okay.
Detectives began to look now into the Haines family background. Could either Tom or Lisa have been having an affair? And, maybe there was a scorned lover, because sadly, cases like that do happen,
Often, yeah.
However, detectives weren't able to find anything nefarious involving the Haines. There were no extramarital affairs. They didn't owe anybody any money. They weren't involved in anything, illicit, no drugs. They, like I said in the beginning, they were considered a very you can consider them boring family. You know what I mean? Normal, yes.
Yeah, they just went to work, went home,
spent time with
movies,
spent time together, and did their little hobbies and stuff. So detectives shifted their focus to the sole survivor of the massacre, Maggie Haines. It was odd that she was the only one left unscathed while her family had been brutally murdered. There had not one scratch on her. In her initial interview with detectives, she was asked to go over the events of the night, which I mostly mentioned earlier. So she said that when she arrived home the night before for a summer break. That night, she and Kevin went to the mall to buy their mom, Lisa, a Mother's Day card because Mother's Day was going to be that Sunday. After dinner, the family watched a movie together. Her mother and her brother retired to the bedroom first, like I mentioned, while she and her dad, Tom, stayed up to catch the end of a Phillies game, and afterward they went to bed. It was 3 hours later that Maggie stated that she had been sleeping in her room when she heard a loud noise coming from Kevin's bedroom, like something like a scream or a struggle. She got up and she stepped into the hallway to see what was going on. She said that as soon as she made it to the hallway, she was hit with an intense smell of blood. And for whatever reason, she just went straight to her parents' room. She didn't go to Kevin's room. And that's when she came across the scene of her parents. And that's when, her dad, Tom, was still lying on his side of the bed. And it was Lisa that was sitting up. And, that's when she told her to go get help. She said that she didn't even think about it. She just reacted and that she just made her way down the stairs and out of the house without looking back. So
I don't blame her shit.
Yeah, honestly, because I feel like your instincts kick in, some sort of instincts, you're either like, te pendejas, or you just go, While Maggie's version of events fit the crime scene, to investigators, her demeanor seemed off. She appeared calm, detached. She was just very matter of fact. And
everybody reacts different. We've talked about this.
And exactly. And while we know that people react in their own ways to traumatic events, detective had to consider that she may have been involved in her family's murder.
Yeah, because, you just saw your family just...
Yeah,
I guess the way como lo estaba platicando, I'm guessing that's why they kind of were like, what the hell,
And then we've seen cases where a whole family is murdered and the sole survivor is somehow involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it be for money or whether it be for, other dumb bullshit, that usually is the reason why.
Or because they want to leave with their boyfriends.
Yeah.
We've had one of those.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I guess the way that she was reacting to it, because, you just saw your family pretty much get slaughtered.
You might be in shock. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't hit you until later. You know what I mean?
Later, maybe, when you have to go and
actually
pick up your stuff, or I don't know what happens to the survivors for that.
If Maggie had been involved, she had to have had an accomplice who carried out the attack. She didn't have a speck of blood on her, and the bloody footprints found at the crime scene were of a man's size 10.5. So did she plan everything or, and then just hired somebody to carry it out? So a look into her bank accounts did not show any large amounts of money, being withdrawn. And her phone records didn't show any suspicious calls to any numbers. Her computer and laptops were also seized and searched through, and nothing suspicious was found on them. No weird search engine searches, no odd messages or email, no weird websites were visited. Some people be like, how to murder my family, blah, 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 and then Google search, but there was nothing of that on Maggie's stuff.
Or how fast will they die if I stab them?
Or... how long does it take for people to decompose or some shit? In the many interviews that followed with Maggie, she never deviated from her original story. However, Investigators couldn't shake the fact that the killer left Maggie alive. It's just that stands out. It really does. Was this done on purpose? If so, was the killer somebody Maggie? Was it somebody she knew?
And why did he come after her?
Was it someone?
Why did I say after her? I don't know. But I'm just saying, why didn't he, like, whenever her mom said,
go get help,
why didn't he run after her? Because he could have caught her.
Yeah, depending también, I wonder how the layout was. Where was the parents' bedrooms? Where was the stairs? Right. Where was, And what if it was someone who was obsessed with Maggie?
True.
Yeah. To hopefully get answers, detectives made their way to Bucknell University, which was in central Pennsylvania, to speak to Maggie's, friends and teachers. We just had to pause because Barbie discovered that her pants were on backwards.
I don't know why. I was just like pulling up my pants right now because I was like getting comfortable, right? So I'm like pulling up my pants and I'm like, it's still going. It's still going. I'm like, what the hell?
What am I pulling up?
No, y luego you can tell right here I have the extra fabric for the ass. What?
No, ¿por qué tengo aguado aquí enfrente?
Yeah, I'm like, ¿por qué está aguado aquí? And why?
So you've been todo el día así?
Todo el día. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All day, and
I'm surprised you just realized it right now.
It's been a long day.
But anyways.
Of working on projects.
Yeah. So we just mentioned detectives went to Bucknell University, but after many hours of interviews with 50 to 70 people, there was nothing of substance. And so Maggie, was cleared as, a possible suspect. So detectives turned their focus to Tom and Lisa's personal lives. Financial records, friendships, neighbors, coworkers, you name it, just based on the way that they were killed, it
was very personal.
Yeah, and it had to have been somebody that hated them,
Yeah, especially if they went back to make sure. Because if you're just like, I'm just going to steal something, I'll be like, stab you, and then walk away and get what I want and leave. But no, he went back and made sure.
But they weren't even stealing anything.
That's what I'm saying. That he went back to make sure that Lisa was dead. I said Kathy. That Lisa was dead.
Yeah.
So, they didn't even take anything?
Nada. So it wasn't a burglary. That was for sure ruled out. Not a burglary.
That's crazy.
Diana Garber, a longtime coworker and friend of Tom, and actually of Lisa too, described him as a warm, compassionate, encouraging, and positive person who was respected by everyone he knew.
Yeah, he had been there for a while.
Yeah.
At that company, right?
Over 20 years.
Yeah.
During the investigation into Tom's work, detectives learned that there was one person in particular who wasn't a big fan of his.
Okay.
This individual was an inside salesperson whom Tom confronted due to his performance at work.
Oh, but that was his job.
Right. It wasn't great. This guy's performance, he was slacking. Actually, he appeared to le dio la hueva, and he was taking advantage that people kept on giving him chances. Y se hacía el pendejo todavía.
Okay,
sí,
bueno,
and then,
pues entonces si se hace el pendejo, pues bueno, ¿verdad?
And then Tom finally, like you said, it was his job, talked to this guy, and the conversation turned into a screaming match.
How is that possible? Like, if that's your boss...
Y tú te estás haciendo pendejo.
Tú te estás haciendo güey, o sea, like, come on.
I'll
be like, hey, dude, for real, you're right. You know what? You right, bruh. I have been slacking.
Yeah.
I'll fix it.
I'll get it
together. Pero no, then you get upset because people bring it up.
You get defense.
You give defense. Toda te enojas, güey.
Yeah.
Cuando estás aplastado sin hacer nada. Like, what the heck? That's crazy.
Bro, your sales are not being met. Like, your numbers were...
I just be like, hey, you know what? You're right.
Sorry, my bad, bro.
I lacking, bro. My bad. Let me just fix it.
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Whatever
a month,
it is.
Yeah.
But you don't get mad.
Se enojó, ¿no?
Y luego él se enoja y luego todavía like gets mad and then on top of that le grita. What the heck? That's crazy. That's preposterous.
A disgruntled employee who goes after his boss. It was possible, We've seen people get killed for less.
Yeah.
But when detectives went to look for this guy to speak with him, they weren't able to find him.
Oh, where'd he go?
And this went on for a couple of days, actually, until they were finally able to locate him. It so happened that he was out of town visiting family.
It was just a coincidence.
Yeah, quinky-dink.
A quinky-dink.
When he finally returned, detectives spoke with him, and he was obviously astonished about what had happened to the Haines family. He stated that he was not involved in any way, shape, or form, and that on the night of the murders, he spent it with his wife and friends, and his alibi was confirmed by receipts and actual surveillance footage. So,
True receipts.
yeah, like real receipts, like the compras.
De recibos.
The recibos, yeah. Now, on to Lisa. Did anybody want to hurt Lisa?
Yeah.
Again, Diane Garber described Lisa as very soft-spoken and quiet. She didn't like to be the center of attention, and she liked to stay behind the scenes, most importantly, and just take care of her family. And detectives didn't find not one person who had anything bad to say about her.
She was just a family gal, you know?
She was a preschool teacher,
Ni modo que los niños were going to be mad at her.
Yeah.
One of the parents, you never know.
But again, nobody.
But she was at a church,
Yeah, but I mean, it happens. But again, not one thing to say bad about Lisa. Nadie.
That's awesome. But bad at the same time. Porque pobrecita, she died.
Now, Kevin, did he have any enemies at school? Was he the intended?
Yeah, did somebody want to hurt him también,
Right.
or did he?
Exactly. Was he the intended target since he sustained the most injuries? But did he sustain the most injuries? Was it just because he put up a fight?
Maybe.
Detectives go to Mannheim High School in search of possible answers. Much like his parents, Kevin had a great reputation.
Oh.
He was a model student, described as brilliant. He was also shy, and he was a sweet kid who was reserved, and he kept a small social circle. Investigators were not able to link him to anything sordid at school. Kevin spent most of his time with his two closest best friends, Benjamin Opp and Alec Kreider. Both of them were interviewed by detectives and, again, had nothing bad to say about Kevin or the Haines family. They couldn't think of one person who had any issues with Kevin at school. And after interviewing over 150 students at Kevin's school, again, investigators had nothing of substance, which just left them completely stumped.
There's always something.
Because from what they gathered so far, which honestly wasn't much as far as pointing in the direction of who did it, there was no rhyme or reason for these murders that they could find.
Yeah.
What strings do you pull at? You know what I mean? Because
definitely. What do you do? Where do you go from there? Is basically, that's.
And for that exact reason, Mannheim Township fell into a panic. And its residents began to lock their doors.
Yeah, because what if it's just a random serial killer? You never know.
I'm sure they put deadbolts, como tú, tienen la chain, todos
las tres.
They installed home security systems.
La camera's on. The bleaky, diría.
The home security business in the area went up by 700%.
Wow.
The community feared that the killer could be just lurking around, just waiting to strike again.
Yeah, scary.
Detectives began to speculate that this could have been a stranger at this point, a serial killer. So they began to look into other similar cases and compared the crime scenes, as well as reaching out to law enforcement nationwide, hoping that other departments in different states had a similar case to the Haines. They did find that in the last 4 months, there have been 4 similar cases in New York State.
Okay.
One in Florida and another in California.
Wait, that's way far apart from each other.
But could this be somebody that's just...
you had to travel across all the United States?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's 4 times, yeah.
Investigators looked closely into those cases and compared them further to the Haines, but there was nothing that linked them together, that they were all committed by the same person.
Yeah.
At this point, a week had passed, and there was no suspect. Now, in North Carolina, a highway patrol officer pulled over a vehicle with a Pennsylvania license plate for a routine traffic stop.
Okay.
There were 2 males in the vehicle who told the officer that they were on their way to Florida. Mm-hmm. After noticing several fresh cuts on the driver's hands, the officer became suspicious since he was aware of, that they were looking for somebody that had murdered the Haines family. So the officer asked them to step out of the vehicle so he could search it.
In North Carolina?
Yeah, pues está cerquita. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
Not North Dakota, North Carolina.
No, I don't know.
On the East Coast.
Y'all know me.
You want me to bust out the map?
Please do. One day you're going to be like, just put
like
one of
roll it
those circle ones like back in the day.
Yeah, you just roll it down.
Right here with your little pin. Yeah. We do need one of those though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'd be like,
Geography.
South Carolina.
And as he searched the vehicle, he found bags of weed and a hunting knife.
Okay.
The individuals were then taken in for questioning, and it was a routine line of questions. However, while answering said questions, one of them let it slip that they had just gotten away with a home invasion in Pennsylvania.
Wait, what? How the fuck do you let that slip, Estela?
Not only that, but also with murder.
Okay, hold on. Rewind. First of all, you're telling me, hey, sir, how are you doing today? License registration? Where are you going?
No. This is
Whatever.
afterwards.
Hold on.
Afterwards.
I'm trying to paint the picture.
Oh, set the scene.
Set the scene, pues.
Okay.
So, yes, sir, we're coming from blah, blah, blah. Okay.
We're going to Florida?
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the car. Oh, yeah, weed in here. All right, let's go. Take them in. So, where were you going? To Florida? Oh, we got away with murder. Like, what the...
I cannot confirm nor deny that was how it happened.
My deal is like, how the fuck do people get like there's
people that just blurt out shit
like so extreme. Like I know I'm one of them. I blurt out stupid shit all the time.
No, pero it's not like
sometimes when they get nervous, they'll just start saying stuff. But it's like, oh yeah, sir. So you're going to Florida? Yeah, I'm going to Florida, and then we just murdered somebody over there. Like,
your guilty conscience.
I just don't understand how people get from point A to point B sometimes. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
we're glad. Yeah,
yes,
we're glad.
Obviously. But I'm just like, yeah, we're chilling right here. Yeah, we're all driving.
Chilling.
We just stopped at Buc-ee's and got a little chicken sandwich. Oh, yeah. And then over there, we got
put some
away.
gas at Buc-ee's también.
We put gas. I went to the restroom. I got away with murder. And I also stabbed everybody.
Yeah.
What the?
Like, what do you do? Like, as an officer, do you just keep a straight face? Like,
no,
do
I'd be
pause?
like, no, this is me. I'd be like, excuse me?
Pardon me? Pardon me?
What was that again?
Can you repeat that?
Can you repeat that?
Can you rewind?
Yeah. Can you repeat that into this tape recorder?
Por favor.
Do people even have tape recorders
camera? Can you
anymore?
It was 2007.
Oh.
So you're like, can you look into that camera and say that one more time, please? Por favor.
Slow it down a little bit. Yeah. And then I wonder, like, if me being the person that said it, I would be like...
And el otro is like...
Bitch, what the... Estúpido, vas a ver ahorita te voy a chingar. You know, like, what the hell? It's mind-blowing. But they just got away with murder.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. One of them.
Yeah. Detectives were notified back in Lancaster of this, of course, and they quickly made their way to North Carolina. Since the two males had told officers that they had been wearing sneakers during the home invasion and murder, the first thing that Lead wanted to do was check their shoes.
Dude, literally, the man, all he asked you was, where were you going? Like, now you're telling him I was wearing sneakers. I was like, what? Okay.
At this point, the FBI crime lab had determined that the thread pattern on the shoe prints that were made by the killer was a hush puppy shoe. And sneakers would not make that same thread. So it didn't mean that they weren't involved because they could have just switched shoes out. You know what I mean? Now that the two were seriously being considered as actual suspects in the Haines murders, they rescinded their confession about the home invasion and the murder.
Oh, it's because I was kidding.
As far as the cuts on the driver's hands, because remember, that was one thing that made them, look suspicious. This one individual, he explained them away as an accident at work. He worked at a sawmill. And as for their whereabouts at the time of the murders, they actually provided alibis.
Okay.
So
did you just take this out of your ass?
More or less.
So you were just like, oh, well, yeah.
For funsies? For the plot.
I was just saying that I was driving to Florida, pero I actually killed somebody, but I really didn't. What?
Now, Detective Lead had one last shot to link them to the murders. The baseball cap that was left behind at the Haines backyard, from which they had been able to recover DNA. So after comparing, porque sí le quitaron DNA samples a estos dos pendejos, and they compared it to the DNA from the hat, and it was not a match.
Okay. So was this confirmed that hat did not come from the inside of the home? Like it was somebody else's?
Yes.
It wasn't the family member? Okay.
Right. Yes. So it appeared that the initial confession, whatever they let slip out, was just made up to look tough.
Are you kidding me? So did they just say that, but they didn't realize that they were...
They're going to take you serious, you dumb fuck.
You idiot. Like,
Truly.
do you understand there's someone somewhere is dead because... And then they think it's going to be you.
Three people were brutally murdered.
I just don't get it. You know what? Kids, do not... Please. Be stupid. Please.
If you didn't commit a crime, don't confess to that. Especially
what are you confessing to something you didn't even fucking do?
And it's not que te metiste a una casa a robar. No, you're talking about a family that was brutally murdered. Three quarters of a family was brutally murdered, and you want to take that on? Like, you want that on
you
your
really want that on
you want that on you because you're gonna die.
Okay. Well, corn fritter. That's a first.
So, of course, they were clear. Los mandaron a la verga ya, chingense. They should be put in jail for wasting...
For lying. And for wasting my fucking time thinking
and resources.
That it was you.
Yeah.
You know what? Yes. You made me call the fucking FBI, motherfucker.
No, the FBI had already done their work.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I had to call and get the results on the DNA. You know what? You're paying for that phone call, bitch. That's what I would say.
2 weeks into the investigation, there were no leads or suspects.
Damn, 2 weeks already?
All detectives were able to do at that point was just follow up on calls that came in through the tip line, which were obviously still pouring in from the community. Mm-hmm. It was one of those called in tips that led detectives to their first real suspect in the case.
For real or bullshit, man?
And it came from a nearby juvenile center.
Oh, shit. Okay.
An officer told Detective Lee that they had a 15-year-old juvenile who was saying that one of his friends had gone into a house in Mannheim Township a couple of weeks ago and had taken care of a family as part of a gang initiation.
A gang initiation?
A gang initiation.
What the fuck?
This kid, he's a fucking kid, proceeded to tell officers details about the crime that were similar to those of the Haines murders.
Okay.
He said that this friend of his went into the home, went upstairs, killed the father first, then the mom, which is true. Well, no, because Lisa no se ha muerto, even though they killed her.
Right? But she was that.
In that order, pues. He then went down the hallway into a bedroom and began going through dresser drawers where there was a boy sleeping. And he ended up stabbing the kid numerous times and killing him. And the day after the murders, the boy's friend ended up showing this little boy a bloody knife.
Okay.
Now, the details about there being like a drawer open in Kevin's room hadn't been made known to the public, but it was true. So just with that information and the fact that he kind of knew the order of the murders and, it just kind of all seemed...
They took him serious.
Yeah, they took him serious. Yeah. So based on that information, investigators believe that they might have something finally. So a plan was devised where the 15-year-old would wear a wire in hopes of getting this friend to talk about the murders. And of course, it would be recorded.
So the friend was in jail with him?
I think at the juvenile center or something like that. I don't know if he was outside. I don't know. And so for the next 4 days, this 15-year-old brought up the murders to this friend with obviously detectives listening in. But the other boy never engaged or incriminated himself in anything for 4 days. And so it became clear to investigators that the other boy did not know anything about the Haines murders.
Okay, so it must have been the boy that was wearing the...
When detectives confronted the 15-year-old boy, the juvenile, he admitted to making the whole thing up.
Otra vez!
The actual reason as to why he did it was technically unknown, but it was believed that maybe he thought it would help him get out of the juvenile detention center quicker.
Oh, wow. This is no fucking joke.
Yet again, another lead went up in flames. And again, like with the other two morons, it's just a waste of their time and a waste of their resources.
Págame mi dinero. You know what? Just for that, you're staying longer in fucking juvie. If you were staying for fucking 10 days, now you're staying for 18, motherfucker. Man.
18 months.
18 months.
No, just kidding.
What the hell?
Though they were back at square one, investigators were not discouraged. They began to look at a different angle in the case as far as
I'm sure that they shouldn't. Like, I feel like that's the last thing that they want to lose is be discouraged.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially in that triple homicide,
Yeah.
Now they were looking at a different angle as far as it being a stranger, like really focusing on that angle. They gathered that whoever did this knew the Haines, knew the layout of the home, knew that the Haines left the door unlocked, and in which way to make their exit. In early June.
And also the fact where Kevin's room was at, right? Because I'm just thinking, if he's trying to avoid killing the girl, what's her name? Maggie, then, because if it would have been just a stranger, he just would have walked in anywhere, not knowing where the fuck he's going. And at this point, he did not go into her room. So I don't know, I'm just saying.
Now it was early June. As the investigation continued, Lead was notified of a local teenager who was threatening suicide.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
It was Alec Kreider.
Hey, that's the little boy's friend.
Yeah, who I mentioned earlier was being one of Kevin's closest friends. This was technically, in a way, what detectives feared would happen after the family murders, how it was going to affect the community, and how people were having a really hard time.
Yeah.
And on top of the fact that nobody had been caught. And it had been like a little bit over a month, I think, up to this point. No, not even a month. In this case, Kevin's brutal murder was affecting those closest to him. And Alec Kreider was a 16-year-old boy who couldn't deal with how horrific his friend had been killed and his parents.
Oh.
So on the night of June 5th, Alec was on the phone with a girl who was a friend. He wasn't his girlfriend. At some point during the conversation, he told her that he had a loaded gun and he wanted to pull the trigger.
What the heck?
Now, this young girl honestly did an amazing job at navigating the situation. Not only did she keep Alec on the line, but she also answered his questions in a certain way that alerted her mother to something being wrong.
Oh, good for her.
So her mom, the girl's mom, since obviously la muchacha was on the line with Alec on the landline, la mom couldn't use the phone. So the mom got in her car and she drove to Alex's mom's house and let her know what was going on. And the police were called. So the girl was still on the line with Alec and she was suggesting things that would get him to go downstairs. Eventually, she suggested something that made him leave his room. I think que le dijo, I'm going to get something to eat. You should get something along those lines. Tú también agarra algo de comer o algo así. And he left his room. And when he walked downstairs, the police were ready for him. And he was handcuffed and he was taken to Lancaster General Hospital. And then with his mother's consent, he was admitted to Phil Haven Behavioral Health Care Facility for a psychiatric evaluation. During Alec's initial evaluation, his parents, Tim and Angela, who were divorced, were told that he was suffering from depression and on some level had been for some time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The doctor was concerned for him since he posted threat to himself and others.
Yeah.
And so he prescribed him antipsychotic medication and an antidepressant. And the plan was to continue to monitor him. And when he was deemed stable, then they would see how he was in that moment. And then they would make a decision when he would be released. So over the next few days, Alec tried to get his parents to somehow make it happen for him to speak to his friend, that girl that he was talking to that night. They told him to focus on getting better. But as the days passed, Alec insisted, he told his dad that he was in love with her. He was like, I need you to tell her that I love her. And
write her a letter, homie?
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't think they can have pencils.
It would. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Pero
I'm pretty sure that they can't have pencils.
Now, Tim and Angela were in a tough spot since the girl's mother had contacted them and told them that she did not want her daughter to be involved with Alec in any way, shape, or form.
Oh.
There was a report that said that he had read in her letters. I'm not sure if the mom ended up reading them y que no le gustó lo que miró en las letters.
Oh.
That's what I heard. So I'm not sure how accurate that was, but something must have happened where the mom de la muchacha le dijo a los parents que no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they feared that when they informed him, because they needed to tell him because no se callaba la boca preguntándole a ellos sobre ella. So they knew they were worried about how it was going to affect his emotional state. However, they had to do it since Alec, like I just said, just didn't stop asking about her. And so
I would have probably consulted the doctor first.
And so they decided that during their next family visit, where a therapist was also present, they would break the news to him in a gentle way,
Yeah.
So that day was June 12th. In the meeting room was Alec, his parents, and a therapist. Tim and Angela told him that while the girl cared about him very much and valued him as a friend, she currently had no interest in being anything other than friends. It was nothing against him. She just wanted to focus on being a teenager and not enter a serious relationship while in high school. Mm-hmm. So Alec began to laugh quietly to himself. And he was shaking his head and then told his parents that they needed to leave the room. And so they left the room. After some time, he stayed in the room with the therapist. And after some time, the therapist asked both of them to, come back into the room and told them that Alec had something to tell them. And so Alec looked at his parents and he said, "I killed Kevin."
What?
After what felt like an eternity, I'm sure, for everybody in the room, his mom broke the silence and asked him if he really had done it. And he said, quote, "I did it. I killed Kevin and his parents." They asked if he was making it up for attention, and he said no. And then he proceeded to share specific details that convinced them.
Okay.
He said, so this is what he told them. He told his parents this in front of the therapist. Since his mom worked nights, because he would spend, it was 3 kids. It was an older sister que tenía él. It was Alec and then a younger brother. So the older sister was 19, Alec was 16, and then I think his little brother was 12, 13. So they would spend 1 week with the mom and then 1 week with the dad, right? So this is on the week estaba con la mom. Since his mom worked nights, he said that while she was gone, he dressed in dark clothing, a dark coat, a baseball cap, gloves, and he grabbed a flashlight and left the house.
Okay.
He entered the Haines home through their garage door, which he knew they left unlocked since he had been over there a bunch of times. He said that Kevin died in the hallway, facing the wall. His father lay on the bed with his head hanging over the side. His mother was just a few inches from the doorway. After he committed the murders, he ran behind their house where he lost his baseball cap and flashlight because he fell in the woods or something like that. He added that he initially only intended to smother Kevin, but ended up using a knife to kill them all. Everyone but Maggie, since he didn't know that she was coming home for that weekend for college.
Oh, shit. He didn't know.
That's the only reason why she survived.
Because she was.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew because she's like, oh, I'm already going to stay here.
She came back the night. She literally came back hours before, like Friday night.
But why did he kill him?
Afterward, we'll get there. Afterward, he got back to his mother's house, which was a 10-minute walk from the Haines home, and cleaned up. His mom was working nights.
Well, yeah, but she didn't like.
And then he cleaned up when he got home.
Oh.
Alec then pointed to the shoes that he was wearing and told him that it was the shoes he wore that night, the Hush Puppies. Now, Phil Haven, which is the facility that he was in, was not allowed to disclose Alec's confessions to the authorities. So it was going to be up to his parents to do the right thing. And they were told as such by the Phil Haven staff. So 2 days later, on June 14, Tim, which is Alec's dad, contacted the Lancaster police and let them know what his 16-year-old son, Alec, had confessed to.
As he fucking should.
That same day, as Tim searched through Alec's bedroom in his home, in a dresser, he found a knife with a sheath. And Alec had already told him that a knife was in his room. And his dad was like, I don't need to hear about this. Like, don't tell me, because by then they had already gotten attorneys. Everything happened so fast. Like, as soon as the dad learned that what his son did, got an attorney, the attorney told him, you and your wife need to get an attorney because he already confessed this to you. So everybody needs to have separate counsel. So Alec le había dicho a su dad where the knife was. So the day that he contacted police, June 14th, he was searching through his son's room and he found a knife in a sheath. And he took it off. He took the sheath off and noticed that the tip of the 4 to 5 inch blade was broken off. Mm-hmm. And he said that when he saw it, he was like, I knew. Wow. And I knew it was the knife that he used to kill the Haines family. And it was a knife he also recognized because it had been his when he was a kid.
Wow.
He had grown up hunting and fishing, and he received it when he was 12. Oh, and he later passed it down to Alec when he was 12 también, because Alec se la pidió.
Not the fucking
family heirloom. Yeah.
Damn.
Tim placed a knife in its sheath on a towel on the kitchen counter. And afterward, the police arrived to seize the knife and do a quick search of Alec's bedroom. So at Angela's home, police were able to recover the gloves which were believed to be the ones that Alec wore on the night of the murders. Now, on June 16th, so 2 days later, after his dad called the police, Alec Kreider was arrested for the murder of the Haines family. Now, at his arraignment, Judge David Miller charged him with 1 count of burglary in the first degree and 3 counts of criminal homicide in the first degree. He pleaded not guilty. And due to the severity of the crimes, he was charged as an adult and given no bail. And after he was taken to the Lancaster County Prison.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna plead insanity for sure.
So later that night, police returned to Phil Haven to retrieve the shoes that Alec wore on the night of the killings, as he said. And
I'd be like, can you take those off for me real quick?
And they were sent off for testing. Now, patients at Phil Haven were encouraged to keep like a confidential therapeutic journal during their stay. And that journal was also, taken by investigators. And actually, Alec kept multiple journals. He kept some at his mother's house, at his dad's, at school. And they were all seized, hoping that they would reveal a motive for the slayings and Alec's mental status at the time. And I think it was the one that was at his mom's, but was found in it, was disturbing, to say the least.
Damn it.
And it was in various different entries. He wrote that he said, quote, his want and need to kill people increased.
Oh.
In another, he wrote, never once did I believe killing a man is wrong.
Oh, okay.
No, and that killing out of cold blood was not wrong.
Okay.
And another one said, ever since I was young, I was defiant of rules and their consequences, which of course laid the foundation for my current anger, depression, and violent nature.
Okay. Wow.
And just after the murders, he wrote, quote, Alexander was born on May 12th at 3:30 a.m. His name wasn't Alexander. But it let investigators know that Alex saw himself as a new person after the murders. Mm-hmm. He had been reborn. And that he killed because he wanted to, plain and simple.
What?
When the arrest of Alec Kreider for the murder of the Haines family hit the news, because it happened quickly, the town was stunned and also relieved. Finally, the person responsible for the horrific murders was behind bars, but it was also a 16-year-old kid from their own community, and it was somebody who was close to Kevin.
Bro, that was like they were chilling all the time. Like, it's like it would be different if it would have been the random ass man. But this is someone that was in his house.
Yeah.
That knew his family, like that his mom probably fed or brought him to school.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And it's hard for people to reconcile that. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm telling you, because it's like one of my kids' best friends coming over and killing us.
Or, the Emma,
That's what I'm saying.
Girls.
One of my kids' best friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me. What the hell?
Ben Opp, which was one of the, friends with Kevin, he said about Alec and Kevin, he said, quote, they were great friends. Kevin talked about Alec all the time. He described Alec as a, quote, a smart kid, kind of like Kevin, but less approachable. Once you got to know him, he was really funny.
Wow.
And they were both in the quiz bowl, like, just super smart kids. Like, they were.
I mean, that doesn't take away that he was smart, but at the same time, it's like, as a parent, like, me being a parent, like, what do you do? Like, how do you know that your son, do you notice these things? Maybe his mom was working too much. She didn't notice that he was doing certain things. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I read that his dad, Tim, he wrote a book, and I read it for kind of just get some, a cleaner timeline of some events. And I me puse a llorar because I was like, oh my God, I was like crying. Like, I was like I had a tissue for my mocos and I had a tissue for my tears, because it was really sad. Not that, obviously, I can't even imagine what the Haines family, like Maggie must have been going through, like, unfathomable. I can't even fucking imagine. But just to hear Tim's side, and he was like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And then,
because that's the same thing I would say.
Yeah.
Be like, what did I do wrong?
What did I miss?
What did I miss?
Yeah.
Exactly. That was my deal. It's like, okay, so as a parent, what did I not look at? Where did I see that he did something odd that I could have been like, and I could have helped that family?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a parent.
Yeah.
But
and he said, we didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything.
And he says, like, I wasn't friends with, like, Kevin's parents with the Haines, but you know, I knew them because our kids were friends, you know, like very high and by.
Yeah.
And then it was just really sad after him and his ex-wife talked about what they had to do, and him,
they did the right thing.
and then him breaking the news to his other children, and he called his parents, his mom, and then his dad. And then it really broke my heart when his youngest son, the one that was 12, 13, he told his little best friend, he went to go talk to his mom, and he's like, hey, this is going to come out. Please still let your son hang out with my little son. I was like, oh my God. And you just don't, I don't think when I initially started looking into this case, I didn't think.
No, it's because from one of your actions, I was going to say auctions.
Yeah.
From one of your actions,
you don't think
everything that happens
like,
from one of the
ripples.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like from one of this child's, just thinking, oh, it's okay. I want to kill somebody. Like, I feel like I want to do this. Okay. But from that turning into actually,
you're destroying
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just yourself, because now you're in jail because of what you did. And this family that you just killed for no reason.
And Maggie and what she must be going through. And their extended family. Yeah.
So that is
and your
super
siblings,
sad.
like
yes,
it's really hard. Like I can't even imagine. So I'll link his book if anybody wants to like take a look at it. It was just really sad.
If anybody wants to get a good cry,
yeah. So now the knife, gloves, shoes, and cap, which were all obviously collected, and they were sent to a crime lab for DNA testing. The gloves and shoes, which still had traces of blood, came back a match to Kevin's and Alex's DNA. The cap also had a positive match to Alex's DNA because it had hair, and then a speckle of blood, which was Kevin's. And then the knife was matched as the murder weapon. Now, due to Alex's age, the death penalty was automatically off the table. Before Alec was arrested, you know, I mentioned that his dad, you know, got a lawyer for both of them. Everybody had separate counsel. So before Alec was arrested, a deal was reached between Tim and Angela's attorney and the district attorney, which was approved by the Haines family.
Okay.
So in Pennsylvania, second-degree murder charge carries a mandatory life sentence without parole, and it does not allow for an insanity defense, which was the defense they were hoping for present for Alec. So the deal was to have the second-degree charge off the table in exchange for Tim's testimony and the fact that he was helping them out with the whole investigation, giving them the knife, giving them the journals, be like, this is what my son told us this day, and I'm going to sign it, and I'll help you if you guys take that charge off the table. And that's what it was.
Basically, that
they have to try him for first degree.
First degree, but he can
present an insanity defense.
Yeah, and possibly go for parole.
No. Mm-mm. But the thing is, in Pennsylvania, an insanity defense is very unlikely and it's very rare. Since the standard to meet for an insanity defense, it's high and difficult to prove. But that's all they had to go with.
I mean, they had to try.
They had to try, yeah. During the months that followed, Alec went through extensive psychological evaluations. His psychiatrist determined that he was mentally ill, but not to the degree needed by the state to use an insanity defense. And he was declared competent to stand trial. But just before his trial was set to begin, in June of 2008, Alec pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. So the only thing now was that he needed to be sentenced by a judge. And it was automatic that he would get life in prison for each murder. The only thing left would be for the judge to decide if his sentences would be served concurrently or consecutively. The sentencing took place, obviously, in June of 2008. Now, Alec's defense attorney, David L. Blanc, and he had a previous attorney before this one, but he actually ended up dying in between everything.
Oh, shit.
So this new one had to be like caught up. So that took like a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this new one was Blanc. It told the court that he was pleading guilty to the maximum offense to accept responsibility for his crime, and as a gesture to help the Haines family heal, so they wouldn't have to go through, you know, the whole trial. When the district attorney Craig Stedman, addressed the court and presented his case, he said, quote, "Everybody wants to believe there is a good explanation. There is no explanation. Alec had a need to kill. There were easy targets. I think we do know why. The reason is that he is a murderer. Sometimes there are truly evil people, deviants who just want to kill. That's a harsh reality of the case. He recanted the events of that night. He said Alec entered the home, made his way upstairs, attacked Tom and Lisa. Then he ambushed Kevin, stabbed him 5 times in the back as he slept. This woke Kevin up, and he scrambled to the floor. As he fought for his life, he crawled onto his hands and knees to a window to attempt make an escape. Then the struggle moved to the hallway where Kevin died. And this is where he sustains the wounds to his chest and neck. Alec then went back to the master bedroom where he saw that Lisa was still alive, and then he finished her off. So because Kevin put up a fight, that gave Maggie the opportunity to leave. Yeah.
That and because he didn't know that she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have realized that she was there.
Pero not,
not that quickly.
Not that quickly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he cleaned up in the bathroom and
basically
went home.
He saved her brother saved her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He cleaned up in the bathroom and went home. He proceeded to go about his life as if nothing has happened.
Nothing.
And then it was reported that even that following week, he had like tests and he scored like really high.
I'm not surprised.
Like finals or something, because it was May. Stedman also presented additional evidence. It was a statement from an inmate who Alec had confessed to about murdering the Haines family. According to the inmate, Alec told him that killing his best friend Kevin was, quote, interesting, and that if given the chance, he would kill again.
Wow. And
he added that Maggie slipped out, and if she hadn't, he would have raped her and killed her.
Wow.
But it was going to be 4 of them and 1 of me, he said.
Oh, okay.
Again, Blanc, Alec's attorney, could only say that he was a child who was not fully developed cognitively when he committed the murders. Now, during the victim impact statements, Maggie, who at this point was studying abroad, she left the country.
Left completely, yeah.
She submitted her statement via video. And it's really sad. You can see it online, of course. Like, I'm sure if you see it, you grab your tissues, bitch.
Yeah.
She said, quote, this is just partially what she said, obviously not the whole thing. She said, my world was shattered. I miss him every moment of every day. Alec Kreider is a despicable individual. He stabbed my family to death. He has shown no remorse for his actions. I never want him to be free from prison.
Yeah.
That's what she said, end quote. Now, when Judge David L. Ashworth asked Alice to give the family an explanation for the murders, he said, I have nothing to say. There is not anything further.
Oh, okay. And not anything further. Que se cree pinche counsel. Que chingados.
Later, because it was like a 2-hour proceeding.
Yeah.
Again, Ashmore, the judge, asked Alec again, one last time, if there was anything he'd like to say. And Alec said, there is not.
He had no remorse for what he did.
So Judge Ashworth told Alec that he considered the lack of statements in deciding his sentence. He then sentenced him to 3 consecutive life sentences with no parole. And he told Alec that he was going to file a notation with his sentencing order that would discourage any present or future governor from granting him clemency.
Golly.
Ashmore said, quote, you will spend the rest of your life in prison. You will never be given the opportunity to threaten anyone else in the community.
Wow.
And investigators, when, after they did their investigation into Alec and everything, they're like, they truly believe he was going to become a serial killer.
They knew that it wasn't the last one.
No, he was like, no.
That's what that was one of my thoughts too. Like, okay.
He wasn't going to stop there.
Was he going to, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, was he going to, did he have like those prints of that he was going to continue to do it? I was going to say that. I don't know if that was something that maybe, or did, I wonder if his mom was like, oh, well, I do remember after they said something like this, some people were like, I do remember him saying so.
Yeah, obviously now in retrospect, obviously you question everything. Because Tim in his book was saying, now I look back on that weekend, y nosotros ni en cuenta, and he had committed this murders.
Yeah. And did he look different? Did he,
Did he act different? Crazy.
And I'm pretty sure he beats himself up for not paying attention too.
And his mom too, I'm sure. Now in January 2017, Alec, who was 25, was found hanging from his cell at the State Correctional Institute Camp Hill Prison. Staff members tried to revive him, but he was pronounced dead at 4:31 p.m. at Holy Spirit Hospital in Camp Hill. And that is the case of the Haines family murders.
That's a coward way out. I can't say that I'm sorry that happened, but I mean, because it sounds like he would have been. I'm glad that the police were able to find all of the evidence that they needed to put him in jail for forever. And if that was his decision to kill himself, then okay. I honestly thought that you were going to say that he was in love with that girl and that girl was in love with
Kevin
or something like that. I just think that he just wanted.
No, he wanted to kill.
He just wanted to kill.
That's crazy. Because
that's scary.
Bitch.
That's
Isn't that
fucking scary? Because this is just, like you said, your best friend. Like your best friend that you think that you can trust with everything, like a sister, like a brother.
And that's what they were saying. Like Kevin and Alec had known each other for like 5 years. So they were like 10.
10.
Like, like what the fuck? And you see them play together. I imagine like pinche riding bikes and shit. You would never think like years down the line, he's going to murder
He's going to murder me and my whole family.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine Maggie. I'm sure I would never fucking step foot back in Pennsylvania ever again.
Hell no. But thank you so much for that. If you would like to follow us on Instagram, you can at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. And if you would like to download our episodes, leave us a review and or rate us. We would really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you in the next one. Bye.